Hey, this is Jason Rice with Omega Disc Golf and Prodigy Street Team. This is my 2023 in the bag. I've been doing some videos building my bag, and I think I got all the way to fairway drivers, and then life got crazy, and I haven't done a video in a while, and so 2023 season is in full swing. I'm actually in Bucyrus, Ohio, playing in the Ohio State Masters. I did a practice round today and shot one over, which wasn't terrible. I think it's the best I've ever shot at that course. It's probably an 880 rated round, something like that. I think I can shoot 2 or 3 down each round, I hope. So really tight, really wooded. You just have to hit the lines perfectly. Anyway, so I'm in an Airbnb and I thought I'm gonna do my in the bag video. So I'm using the BP1 V3, and shout out to my buddy John Neal who got me the custom nameplate there. So I have 30 discs in the bag. I usually have it on a aerobic cart. I just didn't bring it in. But so let me talk about the bag first. I think this is the best bag for the money on the market. I think these retail right now for like $125, $129, something like that. I have had grip bags. I have had hero bags from Innova. I've had dynamic disc bag, and these are the most comfortable. They hold the most discs. They're the best made. It's phenomenal. You have a nice phone pouch on either side. I keep my Bushnell in this, my phone in this, 2 nice insulated water bottles, nice putter pouch, huge amounts of putter storage, another storage here, and then these pockets are monstrously deep. You can put a sweatshirt in there, you can keep all kinds of stuff in there, snacks in there, different things. So I just love this bag for $129, $125, whatever it is. I know the Apex is really popular right now, but I think it's like $200. And again, I think this is the best bag on the market for under $200. It's got the little shoe strip. And so anyway, it's just, not all of them have that. This is just his version of it. So start out with putters. My putting putters are the PA1. And I kind of freaked out when I started putting with PA1s because I was like the only one that I saw that did it, and I saw Ezra Robinson does as well. I like the 300 soft plastic. I just think it grabs the chains a little bit better. This one's kind of beat in. I don't know if I'm going to use it tomorrow, if I'm going to use this one. This is a newer one, but those are my putting putters. My throwing putters for upshots are PA1s as well. So I have and that's really why I picked the PA1 as my putting putter. I wanted to keep the same putter for my throwing putter for upshots and also then for just for putting. And I did one round in a tournament with the PA3 and only putted with it and only threw it upshots. One round with the PA1, and I just like the PA1 better. PA3 is a great disc. I just liked it, and I really liked it for upshots better, so I thought might as well putt with it. So 200, I'm trying to beat this in to be a little bit less stable, and it's working that way. I actually can throw this further too, like so if I need to get like 185, I can throw this a little bit further than the 300 or the 750. But this is just a misprint 200 that I'm trying to beat in a little bit more understable. This is my workhorse for upshots. This is a 750. I also have a 500 that, but I think for me, I think that they're almost the same plastic. I mean, the way they feel. So I don't think in the way they fly. The 500 plastic is more stable in a lot of things, but in these, I think that they're pretty close. I tried to do a die on this. It just didn't turn out very well, but this has just been great. I can also forehand it. My forehand's not great, but I can forehand it for upshots. So I carry a lot of putters. I throw a lot of putters. I have a distortion in the bag. I used to, before I was with Prodigy, I threw zones, so I thought that I would just like geek out on the distortion. It's a great disc. I can throw it further than I throw any zones. If I need to throw something fairly straight with a little bit of a finish, 205, 210, I'll pull the distortion out. I can forehand it, but it's become more of a utility disc for me than anything. I just don't use it that often. I can still keep it in the bag, but I don't throw it that often. However, the A3 is the bomb. This is the best approach disc on the market, hands down. Best overstable putter on the market. If you don't have an A3, you're hurting yourself. These discs are phenomenal. Actually, sometimes I'll carry 3 in the bag. So this is a 400. This is from a tournament we did, and then I dyed it with I tried to do lotion or shaving cream. This was one of my first dyes. It came out okay, but this just flies great. It's definitely overstable, definitely a great forehand approach disc. Get it around things, put it on Anheuser, it'll fight back. Absolutely love it. This is one of the team stamped 500s. This thing is headwind, it's definitely overstable. I like the 400 plastic feel just a little bit better than the 500, but this still feels great in the hand. Push it 175, know it's coming back. It's a great disc, I love it. A3s are amazing. This is an A2. It's very much a utility disc. Like if I have to go really crazy hard around something or really fight a upshot forehand, it's super overstable. It's a great disc as well. It doesn't feel as good in my hand as the A3 does, but I like it. I love any team stamp disc. So, but it's kind of like I probably throw it as much as I throw the distortion. Maybe once or twice around. PA5 is a great disc for an understable putter. I don't have a great forehand, so there are a lot of times I'll pull an understable putter out when I throw it flat and just let it go to the right. PA5 is great with that. I love the soft plastic, so it's in the 300 soft. It hasn't beat in crazy. It's hit a lot of stuff, but it hasn't beat in crazy or anything like that. I think Prodigy's plastics durability is some of the best out there. I really like it. So PA5, great. So I think that's all the putters I carry. The least amount of discs I carry are in mid-ranges. I don't throw mid-ranges very often. I just don't. I throw putters or I throw fairways. Where a lot of people will throw mid-range, I don't a lot. So we'll just work from overstable to understable, kind of the way we did with the others. MX1, this is a great utility disc. In the woods, I will throw this. I throw a lot of flexes. So I'll throw a hard flex and just let it fight straight and then come back. So I will actually probably throw this this weekend, quite a little bit maybe. I don't know, I didn't throw my practice round though, but it's a great disc. MX1, this is the 400 plastic. And then Team Stamp M1, this is definitely less stable than the MX1. The MX1 is definitely more stable. I can push this a little bit further, a little bit straighter. I threw this a couple times, but I don't think I'm going to throw it on the hole that I was working it on. I think I'll throw an F2 just because I can push it a little bit further. But I love that stamp. I love this. This is in the 750, and it's just a nice, great overstable driver. The Model S. This is just an awesome 6-speed mid-range. I can push this 220, 225, 230. My max distance is 300. And it's just kind of dead straight in the woods. I will throw this multiple times this weekend. This is probably my most, it's right there with the MX3, and I'll talk about that as my most thrown mid-range. So I can manipulate this a lot. I'll throw this a lot. I can throw it on forehand, even though it's pretty deep, but I won't throw it on forehand very often, probably. And I throw the MX3 a lot. This is probably my most thrown mid-range. This is a 500 MX3. MX3s are understable, so I can hit this on a little Anheuser and just know that it's going to fight. There's probably 3 holes that I'll throw this on for certain off of the tee. Push it 220, 225, 230, something like that. And love the Team Stamp, of course. I have a 400, but I just like the way this feels better, and this is definitely a little bit more stable, so it will fight back a little bit. So that's mid-ranges. I have a lot of fairways. I throw a lot of fairway drivers. So we'll just start, same thing, we'll go overstable to understable. F1, everyone should have an F1. This is a great overstable fairway driver. This is forehand, it's a great forehand disc. This one's getting beat up. I got a chunk out of it. It actually surprised me. This is a bottom stamp, team stamp. I bought it used though. So this is just just feels good in the hand. It's kind of a little bit deeper and I can fight it. I can get some wrist control, nose up, and let it skip places and things like that. I'll throw it hard and fast, skip around corners. It's just great, overstable. Can't push it super far, 225 maybe, but it's just really good overstable. This is one of my favorite dyes that I did. This was a lotion dye. This is a Proto F2. I have another F2. This one is in the, this is a 400 plastic, and I like this feel of this plastic. I have a 500 F2, and it might be a little bit, it definitely is a little bit more stable, but this one I'll throw a lot this weekend, just because I can kind of just Anheuser baby it, and it'll go straight and then come back, and so I'll throw it a lot on a lot of holes. So F2 is a great disc. I carry 2 F3s. There's times I carry 3 F3s. So I have the Isaac Robinson one, Isaac Robinson 500 one, and then a 750 F3. This is actually more overstable than this, and I wonder if this is because this is the Spectrum run, because my other 500 F3 is definitely more overstable than this one. But I took my 400 out and put this in. One, the stamp is sick, and two, I just like the way that it feels. I will alternate between these two discs all day tomorrow, hitting fairways, pushing it 240, 235, that type of thing, dead straight, letting it skip, maybe even fighting to the right a little bit. F3, in my opinion, best fairway driver on the market. F5, I will cycle in different F5s, but I'm really liking the F5 Air Spectrum. It's pretty understable. It does fight back a little bit though, but it's not going to roll, at least on me. I mean, you know, I'm not Kevin Jones, anything like that, but I definitely like it for the understability of it because I don't have a great forehand, and I like the Air Spectrum plastic. So F5 Air, just nice. I put it on a hyzer and I can get it 250, but you know, I really like it for those understable shots. I just put this in the bag, and I don't know about it. I don't know that I will throw it as much as I thought that I would. It's a team stamp, and it's an F7. I feel like it doesn't do it. Maybe it is a little bit less understable than, or a little bit more understable than the F5. But I think I would pull the MX3 out. They probably fly the same for me, and I'm just more comfortable with the MX3. I just thought I'd try it out, but I put it in the bag. I used to have another F7 Air, and it was just stupid understable, and it just didn't work for me. So anyway, I think, I don't know if this is gonna stay in the bag or not. I like the way it feels, and I love the stamp. I love all the team stamps. So FXs, I don't think of them as fairway drivers. I know that we categorize them that way as Prodigy, but at a speed of 9, in my opinion, is a driver. It might not be a super fast driver, but it's a driver, especially when you have a weighty arm like I do. 310 is my max distance. So everything else is going to be drivers, but we'll start with the FXs, which, by the way, is my distance driver. So my primary distance driver is at FX4. So we'll start with more stability and work it back. So I carry 2 FX2s, an Air Spectrum, which is probably thrown more than any, more than this FX2. So this is pretty overstable. And even in the Air Spectrum, I can release it on an Anheuser, it'll fight flat and then come back. I can throw it on a hard hyzer, on a forehand, it'll get up and fight through the trees. There'll be several holes that I'll do that on this weekend. It'll fight through and then roll to the spot. So I like it, and I love the Air Spectrum plastic. This is just a Spectrum 400 F2, and it's a team stamp, and it is a beef cake, an absolute beef cake. Like, super overstable, throw it on a forehand, it's gonna dump right. Throw it hard and let it skip around corners, you know, gotta push a little bit further. Hard Anheuser and then fight back out. Love the utility aspect of this. So I carry one F3 in the 500 plastic. I used to carry two. I used to carry like a 400 and a 500, and I just didn't ever find myself throwing the 400. This is 260, 265. I throw it hard on a flex, and then it'll fight back and finish to the left, or throw it straight and let it come around. So I throw the FX3 a lot. So I like this die too. I'm just playing around with this one. This was one of the shaving cream ones where I did sprinkles and tried to do it. Yeah. My favorite die, however, is coming up, but not yet. FX4 400 plastic. So I don't throw this that often. I thought maybe I would get more distance out of it than the 500, but I don't really. If I need something, I can just go to the right a little bit more. Like there is one hole that I parked this on, and I'll probably throw it this weekend. But so yeah, it's just more straight than the 500. I just don't throw it as often, but it's a great disc. So my primary distance driver is this FX4 500 plastic. This is my favorite die. It got a little dark at the bottom, but this is a shaving cream die. Really like the way that this came out. I throw, for max distance, I throw flex shots. I can't throw hyzers very well. My knees are junk. I can't step in and torque. And so I throw flex shots. And so just love being able to get it out. And it fights back and just finishes straight. 310, I can push it, and that's, right there. So then you may ask, why do you carry any more drivers? Because I keep trying to get more distance, right? And there are some utility things within these other drivers. So these are all a little bit faster, except for the H7. I do carry one H right now. And I'm trying to work in an H2, a 500 H2. I wonder if it might take the place of the FX4. I just haven't got to it yet. H7, 400, understable, but if my knees are feeling good and I do pop it on a hyzer, I can push this 350. I've done it several times, especially downhill, and so if in the right conditions, I will crank on this on a hyzer and it will glide forever. It is a first run H7, so really like it. I've got a 500 H7 that I'm thinking about trying to put in the bag just to see what happens, but I like it a lot. So now stability of drivers. D1, this is from that same tournament as you saw the A3. So this is just headwind, those type of things. If I just need something super overstable, I can't push this real far, but I do throw it a lot if there's a headwind and those type of things. It's just a great overstable driver. I carry two X3s. This is a Team Stamp 400 X3 and then an Air Spectrum. This used to be my go-to driver, and I'm not getting that. I'm turning it over more often now. It is pretty understable. A little bit of a headwind, not crazy headwind, but it's like 10 miles an hour. This is where I'll throw. This is more of a, if I need to get around a corner, that type of thing. I can push this 300 feet, and if I pop it right, it's great, but I'm not consistent with it anymore. So I throw those. The next two, we'll go this one first. F model US. So that says US understable. This thing is not understable. In the Pro Flex plastic, these things are very stable. I mean, not crazy stable, not D1 stable, don't get me wrong. But for a 10 speed, like it definitely fights. I can push this close to 300. It's a great driver in a headwind as well. So I do like it. I do throw it quite a little bit just in certain circumstances. I cannot forehand this thing though. It's dead flat. You would think that I could. I can't forehand much, but anyways, I like this. I like the Ace line. I've thrown the Duraflex, the same one. It's so much more understable. Like the difference between like a DX and a Champion, if you know Innova. So this is definitely more overstable. I have a F model S, and it's even more overstable in the Pro Flex. So I throw it quite a little bit. So I have feedback. I bought the feedback off of a guy because he had it and I wanted to try it out. And a Shadowfax. Here's the thing, like they fly almost the same for me. The Shadowfax is a little bit more understable. The feedback flies a lot like my FX4. I was hoping that it was going to become my go-to driver, but it just hasn't been. I don't know, they're just in the bag. I will throw the shadow packs in the woods sometimes, but most of the time I'm going to grab the FX4 because it just feels better. So that's my in the bag. I hope you enjoyed it, and go out and have some fun playing disc golf.
Well, well.